Hello friends, I am Jayesh Gandhi and today we are going to talk about the addition program. You must be thinking that what is so great and fun in doing this program again and again. But today we will be writing the program for addition of two numbers in memory and then put back the result in memory, as well as we will learn the importance of the carry flag and implement the result along with carry. So let us start our tutorial and learn about this program. First of all, we will have the problem definition. Write a program to add two numbers given in memory location 3000 and 3001 and place the result in 3002 and 3003. So now you must be surprised that why 2 bytes are required for an 8-bit addition. If you add two 8-bit numbers, then the result should be 8-bit. Why 2 bytes are required? Of course, the result is 8-bit. You can see over here. You take the first operand and the second operand, add them. The sum gives a result of 8-bit. Similarly, in this case also, you have two numbers and the sum is 8-bit. But now comes the important part of this program, and that is that this result over here in the second problem we have the carry is equal to 1, while in the first problem we find that the carry is 0. So here you find that the result is 8-bit and that should be sufficient to represent your addition, but then the result will not always be 8 bits. It can spill over the 8 bits and the 9th bit is generated, and that is the carry bit. As a result, if you write these numbers in hex, then you find that this is 4b and 58. The sum is 0a3. While if you write C2 and 7a, then the sum is 13c, where this 1 is represented by the carry flag. So that is very much the part of the sum of the two numbers. So we need to write the results in this form, that it is a 16-bit number which either will be 0 or it will be 1, and that is how you have to write the program. So let us go ahead and try to see what is the data area of our program. 3000 will give us the first data, that is the first operand. 3001 will give the second operand. 3002, it is the higher order byte of our result, and 3003, it is the lower byte of our result. So that is how we write down the data for this particular problem. Now we go to the program. If you see the program, I have used the indirect addressing mode to address our 4 data bytes in the data memory, and we have started with MVI B is equal to 0. Assuming that the carry bit is 0, we will make the B register 0. If at all there is a resulting carry in the addition, then we will modify this register, otherwise we will assume it to be 0. The next instruction is the LXI H3000. It is the pointer which is initialized to the data memory. The third instruction, move A, M, brings the data from memory to A register. Then in the fourth instruction, INX H, we manipulate the data pointer and take it to the next memory location. And then we write down add M. So the value of the memory location pointed by HL is added to the A register, and the result is placed back in the A register, and all the effects are generated in the flag register. After this instruction, we have to decide whether the carry flag is 1 or not. If it is 1, we have to increment the value of B. If it is not, then we have to skip this instruction. We will write down J and C ahead. So jump if no carry. The carry bit is 0. Then we will just skip the INR B instruction and we will jump ahead. And if the carry bit is 1, then the INR B instruction is executed and then the data is placed back in the memory using the memory pointer. So this is the summary of the program. If you see in the fourth column, I have mentioned the machine code so that if you try to do this program on the kit, then you have to write in this particular format. You should generate a coding sheet in which you write down the code, and then when you go to the kit, you can enter the code from this particular coding sheet. In the first column, I have mentioned the addresses. In the second column, we have the label. In the third column, we have the mnemonics. In the fourth column, we have machine code. In the fifth column, we have comments. So after you give the addresses for each instruction, the address for this particular instruction where we want to execute the jump should be mentioned in this instruction. So it is 100C. Lower order byte is always first and then the higher order byte is written. You can see it over here also, the lower order byte and the higher order byte. So this is the convention in 8085. So now the whole code is ready. Now we need to enter it into the hardware or the kit which you have. In this particular tutorial, we'll use a simulator to simulate this code. So let us go to the simulator. So this is the simulator which we are going to use, and I have already written down the program so that we don't waste time in entering the program. Our job is to compile this program and learn how to see the result of the program. So let us compile it first. So when you will compile this, then this machine code which is shown over here, that will be entered into the memory from 1000, right? So let us compile it and check what happens. So now from address 1000, you get 06, then 00, then 21, 00, 30, 70, 23, 86 and so on. So this is our code. You can tally it with the addresses given over here and the machine code which we would like to manually enter in the kit when we deal with the hardware. Anyway, so now our code is ready inside the machine, but then we have to give some data in the memory. We have assumed that you are given two data, so we have to give the data. So the first set of data which we have taken, that is 4B and 58. So I'll write down 4B over here, 4B, and the next one is 58. So this is 58. Let us start the execution of this program. So I will execute one instruction at a time. That is done by the step button over here. So I will execute the first instruction, and in B register we have 00. Then I execute the next instruction. In HL pair we have 3000. Then I bring the first data from memory pointed by HL pair to A register. So this 4B which is pointed by HL pair will come in A register. So let us see that 4B has come into the register A. Then I increase the value of HL pair. So that is what happens. Then I add the content of memory pointed by HL pair, that is 3001, to A register. So I make the addition. Now you can see that this is the effect on the flag due to the addition. The carry bit is 0. And therefore what will happen? There is no carry. Therefore we will jump ahead. So we will go ahead and the INR B instruction is being skipped, and then we place back the result in memory. So the first data goes from B to the memory, that is 00, and then the second data from A register will go to the memory, and that is A3. So the result is 00A3. That is what we have seen. Now what we would like to do is, we would like to change this data. The same program, but when the data changes, then it will give you different results. So I will write down C2, that is what we had taken for example, and then 7A. So these are the two numbers, and now we want to add these two numbers. So we will halt this program, we will again compile it. Step. So there is a 00 in B register. You can see that the previous data is still lying, but that will be modified by the course of this program. So all this data is, we can say it is don't care type of data. So again step, and HL will contain 3000, that is the first pointer. Then we bring the data into A register. So C2 has come to A register. Then we add these two. So we get the result as 3C in A register, and you can see now that the carry flag has become 1 because of this addition. Addition of C2 and 7A, the carry flag has become 1. This carry flag is 1, and therefore we will have to increment the B value. So we will not skip the INR B. This is a conditional jump instruction. So in this case it will not skip the INR B, but it will execute INR B, and then it will place the result back into the memory. And as a result, we have the result as 013C. So that is exactly the result which we have discussed previously. So that is how you have to write the addition program, adding two numbers and generating the result as a 16-bit number. That brings us to the end of this discussion. You can try out various different combinations of the input data and see what is the effect on the flags, and interpret the results as we find them. So I thank you very much for viewing this video. Give a like button to motivate us, and also subscribe to our channel so that we will have such wonderful videos in future also. Thank you very much.